Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special edition of Tunnel Vision. I'm your host, Ryan Abraham, joined alongside Mr. Triple Double, Connor Morrissette, and we have a special guest. Thanks again to House of Victory for setting up Eli Sanders, USC's newest running back. How you doing, Eli?
I'm doing well. How you guys?
Yeah, can't complain. We really appreciate you coming on. So we're going to do this like our normal Tunnel Vision show we've been doing the last couple of weeks. We've had a lot of fun guests from the USC football team. And we got our first running back. We got Eli Sanders here transferring over from New Mexico. And like I mentioned, this was set up through House of Victory. So I just want to let everyone know you can go over to House of Victory. There's a QR code on your screen if you're watching us on YouTube, and check it out. The new campaign is called The Place to Be, Time to Win. And I know, Eli, you got involved with some of the charity work through House of Victory. I know for USC fans out there, we'll put that QR code up on the screen again if you want to scan that, and you can donate and help the USC athletic program fund these student athletes who are coming to USC. But I know, Eli, some of the events that you've done recently working with the wildfires and stuff, what has that experience been like for you?
Right, just helping with the community, trying to rebuild the community, and just a tragic loss. What they went through, it definitely meant a lot just to get out and show the kids that there's more to life, and you can reach your dreams if you just keep fighting and keep pursuing your dreams. So just getting out to the community, helping with the fires and everything, it just felt great. It brought great joy to me, and definitely all the players that were there as well.
I mean, it's got to be weird, like moving to Los Angeles, and this is like one of the first things that happens while you're here.
Right, definitely. But it felt definitely blessed to be back home. I grew up in California, so definitely to come back and play ball home is definitely a blessing.
Yeah, you've had quite the college career, Eli, going from Iowa State, started at Oceanside down there in the San Diego area for high school, and then Iowa State, and then New Mexico. So you've gone through the transfer portal process twice. The portal opened today. We were talking off the air. What was different about the process for you this second time when you've had a 1,000-yard rushing season under your belt, and just what were some of the differences, some of the similarities from when you entered the last time to this most recent time?
Definitely. When I left Iowa State the first time and hopped in the transfer portal the first time, it was kind of rough for me. I didn't have a lot of film. I didn't really kind of get the opportunity that I had this time getting into the portal. So, just the first time I kind of bet on myself, and I knew I had brought more to the table than Iowa State was allowing me to kind of display. So I took a chance on myself, and I went to University of New Mexico. From there, they gave me the opportunity to play, gave me the opportunity just to showcase my talents. And then from there, my head coach left. So I kind of took my chances on myself again. And then here I am playing for my dream school.
Was this your dream school, USC dream school, kind of growing up, like, just down the freeway in Oceanside, California? Is that the school you kind of grew up liking?
Right. Growing up in Oceanside right there, definitely being a USC fan my whole life.
Eli, when you were being recruited by USC, what was their plan for you? Because they took Wayman Jordan, they have Brian Jackson coming back. There's going to be this competition that you're going through right now. When you were being recruited out of the portal, what did Anthony Jones, Lincoln Riley, all those guys discuss with you about the plan for you for this fall?
Right. They just gave me an opportunity to come and compete, come in and showcase my talents, being used on special teams, offense, anywhere that the team needs me. So that's really kind of what sold it for me, just being able to come in and compete. Everyone is competing for the spot right now. Everyone is trying to showcase their talents and compete on and off the field, so just having the available space just to come in and compete and show your talent.
I talking to Elijah Page yesterday, and I was asking him about blocking for that new group of running backs, and I'd asked him about you, and he just said speed. For a lot of USC fans that maybe aren't familiar with your game, maybe you could kind of describe that a little bit.
Definitely. Speed is definitely the kind of like my key aspect is, I'm going to one cut and go. I'm going to find a crease and hit it as fast as I can. And from there, we're going to make it a 100-yard dash. So, just getting vertical and just using my speed to outrun and set up the long runs.
I know you're going to be modest, but I got to know, are you the fastest guy in the offense?
We definitely have some fast dudes on just all around the team. So, it would be a great race for some of us to line up and run.
Well, then that always leads to this next question. We ask these guys all the time in the offseason, if you had a 4x100 team, you'd be one of the guys on it. Who else would you want to pick for that team? Who else are some of these fast guys on USC right now?
Man, I would go with Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane, and for my anchor, I would probably go with Prophet.
Yeah, Prophet's really fast too. I know he played all over in high school. Awesome. Thank you for that. That is a question the fans love, so they'll be happy to hear that.
They definitely do love that. Is that one of the things as far as like competition in the running back room? Like, is it how fast you can go through a drill or something, or what's some of the things that lead to the competition between you guys in that running back room?
Well, before even just getting to the field, it's we're competing in the classroom, trying to see who can get the best high scores on tests, best grades, and then I'll just even in the meeting room, who takes the best notes. On the field is speed, physicality. There's so many. Everyone has a different running style in the room, and they're great backs. They all 5'6". We have 5'6" backs that can go the distance at any moment. So just being prepared to practice every day is just really what's competition.
The answer on this might be no, Eli, but I wanted to ask you. So Zachariah Branch was the speedster on USC's offense last season, a wide receiver. You're more of a running back, but when you were being recruited, did the coaches show you any plays of him, or like, are you trying to model your game after someone in that mold where, yes, you're a running back, but maybe you catch a screen pass behind the line of scrimmage and then you go? And Lincoln Riley is known for trying to get the ball into the fastest player's hands as often as he can. Was that part of the pitch at all, maybe trying to model yourself after a guy like that?
Right. I didn't really watch too much film on Zachariah Branch or that kind of the scheme that they had him in. But, definitely getting me in open space, one-on-one, making the dude miss and just getting the ball in space and just, doing what you can do best is with his speed.
And as a follow-up to that, are you working on being more involved as a pass catcher so far this offseason? Wayman Jordan's mentioned that, wanted to be more involved there. USC's running back last season, Woody Marks caught 1 million passes. Is that something you're working on? Is that something that the coaches want you to improve at?
Right. I think that's huge. Getting out on a linebacker one-on-one, it's a complete mismatch, I feel as. So, just being versatile, being able to be used in the pass game is definitely something huge that I want to be used in.
What is the first, few weeks of spring football practice? I guess you're in week 4 right now, 10 practices down. What's it been like for you? How's this experience been?
Super exciting. It's a competition every day, competition in the weight room, competition on the field. So, just waking up and having the opportunity to come out here and compete, wear that number 1, be at USC and play football is just a dream come true. So the first couple of weeks have just been super exciting, super detail oriented, and just, I'm just trying to be the best person I can be for the team.
What have been your impressions of Wayman Jordan and Brian Jackson? What are they like on the field? What are they like off the field?
They're phenomenal backs. They're great. Even they're great people. So if I'm going through anything, I can call Wayman, I can call Brian Jackson. So they're just great people and phenomenal running backs. Like I said before, they can take the ball 100 yards out any play. So, it's just great competition. They bring laughter, they bring joy, they bring just excitement to the room as well. So we definitely have a deep running back room.
As far as the running back coach goes, Anthony Jones Jr. Actually, I saw you yesterday at practice when you were returning some kickoffs, and Anthony Jones, he was working on some of the kickoff stuff. I think it was kickoff or punt with you guys. And I was taking pictures of you, and I was going to take a picture of him, and I don't know if you can see on the screen, but he just had this big smile. He like pointed at me, his smile on his face. It was funny. But what's your relationship been with him?
Something that I really respect him. He's the same guy every day. He brings the same energy. He coaches us the same every day. So, there's not a high day or low day with him. He's going to push you to be your best. And, that's something that I was really looking for out of the portal is coach to push me to be my best. Do not let me slack and just hold me to a high standard. And that's what he does.
How about the resume that he has, some of the running backs that he's worked with, whether it's been at Memphis or TCU? He has a whole bunch of guys who've gone to the NFL. Is that something that when you were being recruited stood out to you, and how important is that to you?
That's super inspirational. Congratulations to him and his background of phenomenal backs, So that's definitely something that carried heavy on my heart, that he's coached some of the greatest. And, that's just to learn from a coach like him is a blessing.
I wanted to talk about the defensive side of the ball a little bit. You've gone through 10 practices. Is anyone kind of standing out to you on that side? Maybe one of the linebackers or someone that just you get to go against one-on-one and go, man, that guy can play.
Definitely. EG, he's definitely tough guy to get around, a tough guy just to make miss. You know, he's so long and lengthy that it's hard to run around him with speed. So that's definitely a guy that stood out the most.
Yeah, Elijah Page yesterday, when he was pressed for an answer on the spring camp MVP, he mentioned Eric Gentry. So he's picking up from where he left off before getting hurt last season. That's really encouraging. How about on offense? We all know Jacoby Lane can make those great catches. It sounds like Mekhi Lemon is getting healthier, so I don't know how much you've had a chance to see him. But who on offense is standing out to you?
Definitely Prince. You know, him being 6'6" or whatever he is, you know, it's definitely a great attribute to have on the offense. You throw him a go ball and he's going to go up and get it up top of any corner. So, you know, he's definitely stand out the best. And, you know, like I said, the backs in the room, Wayman Jordan and Brian Jackson, they broke in number of plays, number of runs. So definitely all three of those dudes.
As far as you know, coming to a different school, this is the second time you've transferred, but now you're a veteran, like Connor mentioned earlier, coming off a 1,000-yard season at New Mexico. Was there anything that when you got to USC, you were sort of surprised by, big differences in the way things are done, or just something that surprised you maybe you didn't expect transferring to USC?
Right. You know, I have been at a couple programs now. So coming to USC, you definitely feel this is a championship program. This program is supposed to be in the playoffs, supposed to be winning championships. So that's where we're trying to get it back to. And that's what our plan is this year.
You mentioned some big team goals there. How about goals for you personally? What do you want to accomplish in this final season for you?
Right. You know, I just want to leave a great legacy and be the best team player I can for USC and just the team. You know, be there for the guys off the field, on the field, finish, graduate with a degree, and hopefully pursue my dreams of being in the NFL.
What was the recruiting process like for you being in the portal? Connor had mentioned earlier that the portal opens today, so the spring window. I want to see how active USC is going to be in it. If it's portal, I was like Portal Palooza or like Portal Passivity, I think was the word I used. I don't know, is it like be passive? But what was it like for you? Because a lot of players we talked to, seemed like you were talking about high school recruiting, which could take a couple years, where portal recruiting could be a couple weeks or a couple days.
Right. You know, the second time I got into the portal, when the portal opened, I was at a new school every day, it felt like. And then my last stop was USC, and then I kind of just felt like it was home from there. So when the portal opened, I was at Michigan State. Then I went to Arizona, and then I went to Arkansas. Followed that with Virginia Tech, and then came here.
Wow, that's quite the journey. I didn't realize you had been on that many visits. When you're going on so many visits in such a short amount of time, the recruiting process just gets condensed down so much. You went through the high school recruiting process, going to Iowa State as a fairly highly touted guy. Just what's that like when it's so synthesized, so short, so fast compared to what you were going through in high school?
Definitely. Well, it's kind of different for a guy like me. I'm a senior. I'm a vet. So, you know, I'm not really looking in for the, you know, where are they going to take us to Top Golf or dinner or anything. It's more of like, okay, where do you see me in your offense? How do I fit into your schemes? And how can we maximize this last year?
We had a few questions from the Peristyle, our premium message board over at uscfootball.com. You mind answering a few of those?
Let's do it.
We can do. I'm Connor. You might have other stuff too, but Tommy Trojan's husband. How fast is your 40-yard dash?
That's a great question. I've honestly never been timed in the 40.
Wow. Okay.
I can say this though. I ran track in high school, the 100-meter dash, and I ran 10.6. So that's the best answer I can answer with that one.
That's pretty impressive. Travis R004 wants to know, what's the process for getting better at getting better as a pass protector as a running back, and how does the approach at USC in that area differ from some of the other schools you've been at, if at all?
Right. So you won't play if you can't pass protect. You know, that's a part of playing running back. You have to be able to pass protect and pass pro, understand where the offensive line is sliding to and where's your 1 to 2 strong at. So, you know, just trying to improve on that is huge at USC. Protecting your QB is just huge in just being a running back.
So as far as that goes, I mean, it's one of those things where, like, who was it, Connor, that said "No blocky, no Rocky"? Was that Travis? Was that Travis Dye? Yeah. It was a fun quote that we used, many times. "No blocky, no Rocky." But it's one of those things that no matter how good of a running back you are, if you run the ball well, if you can't pass protect, it's just going to be hard to get on the field.
Right, that's 100% true. If you can't understand blocking schemes and pick up that your person that you need to pick up in pass pro, then it is tough to see the field.
All right. Yeah, there's been a good Lincoln Riley's brought in some, every year he's been at USC, like these stud veteran, running backs from Dye and Austin Jones and, Woody Marks, Marshawn Lloyd. Yeah, like so it's kind of like I don't know if that impacted your decision, like that Lincoln Riley's shown that he's been able to bring in veteran running backs and have them be productive in their 1 year at USC.
Definitely, it's just be able to come to USC and provide what you think that you can bring to the table, and Lincoln Riley be able to give you that opportunity is just a blessing.
How about Lincoln Riley himself? What's it like learning from him, an offensive coach who's had so much success? Impressions of him a few weeks into camp.
Right, one of the greatest coaches in college football. I'm so blessed, and my family's blessed that he gave us the opportunity to come to USC and play the game that we love. So just huge thanks to him. I appreciate him, and just getting to know him more and more is just definitely a blessing that I have.
We had a question from that Fulio on the Peristyle. Well, the first one I think is a joke. Best Mexican food, Iowa or LA? I don't think. I mean, that's kind of silly,
LA.
Honestly, especially from a person. So you're a San Diego guy. Come on, it's like whatever. But he wants to know impression on team environment and what do you feel this team can accomplish this year?
Definitely, this team is together. This team is we're one unit. So I think the sky's the limit for this team. I think wherever the leaders in the program wants to go this year that's how far we can make it, and that's something I truly believe we can go as far as we can, as far as we want to this year.
I know you're relatively new, but who are you close to on the team? Who's helped you come to USC and just adapt? And whether it's someone who's established or maybe a transfer you've bonded with, who are some of your friends on the team?
Right. So I actually grew up high school playing in Arizona. So I played on the same team as Hank Pepper. Me and him graduated the same year. So he's definitely been there. We live 2 minutes apart from each other. So, when I first got here, he was over at my house a lot. I was at his. And then just growing up, like I said, in Arizona, Jacoby Lane, I played football going against him. So, it was kind of easy to get acclimated into the system and everything. So I'm just grateful for the guys to accept me and take me under their wing, even though I'm kind of like the vet. They showed me the rings a litting bit and letting me do me.
We had one other one from that Fulio. Do you have a favorite Marvel movie?
Favorite Marvel movie? I don't.
Yeah, I'm not big into them either. I don't know. Like, I feel like there's so many. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I have to watch them all. I'm like, I'm not going to get into it. I think our coworker Shotgun was going through, like, is it Disney Plus or wherever they are, and he was just, like, watching all of them. I know it's kind of crazy. But Left Coast Trojan 7 says, what part of Lincoln Riley's offensive system is appealing for a running back?
I definitely would say getting the ball in space, even throughout the run game, the way we kind of run our counter plays, run our outside zone plays, we'll find a way to get the ball in space. And that's kind of what I was looking for, just to get the ball in space and just use my speed to let the rest work out itself. So, that's definitely appealing to how he gets the ball in space, how he puts you in the best ways to be successful.
Jaden Mayavas had a somewhat similar career arc to you, Eli, where he went to a smaller school, did really well, then came to USC, and now will be a big contributor. What have you seen from him in the spring as the established starter?
Great. He's a great leader. He has taken over the offense. He's directed and helped me through many of the plays and just understanding the schemes in the offense. So I would say he's a great leader, phenomenal quarterback, and definitely a great human being.
Let's go back to the Peristyle again. The next question, this is from Satterdang. Are there any similarities on what's being done offensively at New Mexico and what you're learning here at USC?
I would say it's a huge difference. USC is I would say it's a top 10 program in the nation. So, it's definitely a lot of differences, just huge differences in just the program and just the way things are done around here.
Eighth Heisman wants to know, what do you believe is your most underrated trait and what is your greatest asset?
I would say my greatest asset is my speed, and then my underrated trait, I feel like my physicality. I feel like I might not be the biggest back, but I feel like I can go get that tough yard, that 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, or whatever you need. I feel like that toughness is looked upon.
What's your height and weight now? I forgot we had you guys listed, but sometimes the weights aren't always the right way. Like, I don't know if you know what you are now and if you have goals for the season, if you're there yet or not.
Right. I'm at 6 foot, 200 pounds.
Okay. So I think that was more than what they had you listed. Is that kind of where you want to play at?
I do. I want to play around that 200, 205 range.
Okay. Trojan Bell, what former USC running back do you feel your game resembles the most?
What former USC running back?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to just if there's a running back in the NFL or in college somewhere that you sort of model your game after, or if you feel like you resemble that kind of game, it doesn't have to be USC running back.
Well, my first year at Iowa State, I got the opportunity to learn behind Breece Hall.
Oh yeah.
He was there my first year and his last year. So, just him kind of taking me under his wing and showing me how he studies the game of football and how he carries himself off the field is definitely inspiring. And, he taught me a couple secrets, and, I kind of try to play how he plays.
That's amazing. He's had quite the career at the NFL level.
Yeah.
For you, Eli, everyone wants to go to the NFL, but did you feel like USC gave you a chance to maximize that opportunity? And are you hoping to turn this into a one and done year at USC and then go off to the NFL draft? Is that your plan?
I just plan to bring the best person I can every day to USC, the best team player I can be, the best just overall human I can be for the team, or whatever the team needs. That's kind of the goal right now.
NW Fan 76. What other sports did you play in high school?
High school, I just ran track. So,
Okay.
But growing up, I played baseball and football. And then once high school kind of came around, it was just football and track. My running back coach was the track coach, so he made sure we were out there.
Oh, nice.
Fits in perfectly. I think the track team just won a national title, so maybe the football team can follow suit. We'll see.
Yeah.
Right.
Was there any interest in you running track at USC? Like, for football players, you can go to do track, different seasons and stuff. Like, you could and still have your scholarship in football. I think the other way, it's hard to do it. And I don't know, the scholarship rules are changing, but was there any talk about you dabbling in track at USC?
There was no talk about dabbling in track at all, but I saw the times they kind of ran last week. They were in the 9s, so I don't think I can compete with them.
Oh, okay.
Pretty impressive, though, still.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, Connor, anything else?
I'm good.
Yeah, well, Eli, we really appreciate you coming on. Let me give you the applause because we love that. We've the good screenshot. If you want to do a fight on, we'll do the solo one. It's a great screenshot for the yes, good stuff. We appreciate that. Oh, like why is there? I don't know why. Is that something on my end or your end? I'm not sure, but I don't know where those things come from. But great stuff.
Balloons.
Yeah, balloons have flown up there. I don't know if you say the word congratulations and balloons come up. I'm not sure. I don't know how the software works, but anyway, we really appreciate you coming on. Thanks again to House of Victory for setting these up. I know the fans really get into getting to know kind of behind the players a little bit. What's your life like outside of football and all of that. But thank you again for coming on.
Thank you guys for having me.
All right. Well, that's going to wrap up our show. Thanks to Eli Sanders. You can follow. Are you a Twitter, Instagram? What do you use most for social media?
I use Instagram.
Okay. Is it the same one? Is it Eli Sanders 62?
Perfect.
Okay, yeah. And we saw you tweet out some stuff, or X, whatever it is now. But you go follow him on social media. follow along with him. I think you guys will enjoy what he's bringing to the table for this USC Trojan football team. So for Connor Morrissette, I am Ryan Abraham. Hope you guys enjoyed the show, and we will talk to you next time.